as a parent, I get where my mom came from with some things because it's like, you don't appreciate the things they do until it's like you go through that same stuff and then you're like, okay, I see where she's coming from.
Well, not everybody has
see where
the same life experiences to provide their kids with the same upbringing, the same opportunity, I guess. And that's the part for me that's like, I wish there were a way that we could help adults learn those skills.
Well, welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tom. And today's Sunday.
Yes.
Once again, another Sunday.
July's over almost.
Almost. It's
How quick was July?
yeah, I know. I was just talking, my cousin is also a teacher and she's currently living with us at our house. For those of you that don't know the backstory, we have switched over to Jesse's house, to a new studio, our third studio
in as many years
in the history of our podcast. And my cousin's living with me, and I looked at her the other day. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Why is it going so fast?
Too fast.
Just so fast. I mean, it was a blink of an eye ago. It was 4th of July.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, so I went over to, our buddy Bucket, shout out Bucket. And we went there on the 3rd. We got back, the 10th or whatever. I come back to work the 16th, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that just felt like not 10 days. That's already been like almost 2 weeks ago.
I know. And I'm kind of like, I'm trying to look back and think when I'm, during my work year, does it go this fast? Sometimes I think it does.
I feel like this last year was that.
This last year went really fast. Yeah. And maybe it's just getting older, You hit that 40-ish range and it just speeds up, guys. We're just zooming towards death, towards that forever darkness, that blackness, that ever reaching
each day,
that the all-encompassing death.
You just have a panic attack on air.
God damn it, we're all gonna die.
Live. We're live right now.
Did you know that in I forget what Neil deGrasse Tyson, maybe I already talked about this, but Neil deGrasse Tyson said that there is a asteroid coming towards Earth.
Okay.
And there is a relatively significant chance that it's going to impact us in the Pacific Ocean.
When's this one? Is this the one that's supposed to go between the moon and
2026 or something? I forget what it was, but he was talking. You know how Neil deGrasse Tyson is. He knows all about everything, and
I love him.
And I do too. And he was explaining. He was like, actually, they have that music that they always play in his videos. It's like, sounds really intense. And he's like, I think it was like 2026 or 2032 or something like pretty soon.
Like in
maybe
next week. That's how it's going to feel.
As fast as the summer's going, probably. And he's like, if it does hit us, the impact will be so big it'll cause a 3-mile crater in the bottom of the ocean. And it'll basically slosh water back and forth. And
you're gonna cause like
the entire coastline will be destroyed by like a massive tsunami over and over again. And I'm like, man, that's gonna bring our property values up. No, I didn't say that, but
I kind of know what they could do though. I've seen the movie Armageddon.
Actually, they're talking about that. He goes,
you can send a drill team, not an actual astronaut people, just
drillers. Oil riggers.
Just oil riggers because they know what they're doing apparently.
And they don't matter, right? Isn't that kind of the point of what that movie made? Like they're dispensable. Like you can just send them up
blue
there
collar. Who cares? But no, that'd be
for all you blue collar folks out there.
The Pacific Ocean. That's our coast.
Yes, it is. It's our friends in Seattle, our friends in California. If I had any, they would. Malibu.
Tri-Cities will be underwater once again.
Actually, the beautiful thing is we have a giant mountain range between us, so probably not. But who knows? Maybe it comes up to Columbia. How scary would that be?
That'd be wild.
But would it make the turn up the river, or would it just go out towards Walla Walla? Those of you that don't know geography of our area, look at a map. You'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. Like a wave isn't going to turn.
Yeah,
Maybe
no.
you get some residual water, like
Yeah,
sloshing
I don't think it would
but
hit us.
most of it would just slide towards.
I feel like the San Juan Islands and stuff in Seattle, those would probably get wiped.
those would be bad. That would be bad.
You know what I mean?
Especially up there towards
Seattle.
like Forks, all the vampires gone.
Done, Edwards.
Every
done.
one of them's gone.
Hey,
the werewolf
wait,
guy.
No, he'll live though. Vampires, they can live underwater, right?
Oh, they can live through anything.
You know what?
Even sunlight.
Can
now.
they?
Even sunlight. Now.
That's a thing I never seen. Can you drown a vampire?
I don't know. No, probably not because it's stake through the heart or sunlight are traditionally the two
Or
ways, right?
Send them to space because they can't survive in space.
Or do they survive forever?
That's a good question. Can a vampire survive in space?
Neil
Or in a
deGrasse Tyson
different-
also discussed what happens to your body in space.
You just
surprisingly
freeze
enough.
to death.
No, you don't actually. He said there's nothing that touches you to make you freeze because there's nothing in space.
Okay.
So he's like, for you to freeze, you'd have to have like matter against
Like
your
water or
skin, right?
something, yeah.
He goes, so the only thing that would freeze is your dissipating energy. I think he said.
So you get vacuumed
So
out?
he said basically because there's nothing pushing against your body. You remove that pressure. All of the gases that normally are held in would just evaporate through your blood.
I wonder if
And-
it'd be like being in like a vacuum.
Yeah, he's like pretty much you would gurgle out all your juices and
Oh, your juice.
it'd
That
be
sounds
gross.
disgusting.
Yeah, you'd be coming a lot in space.
Oh shit! The biggest load ever.
All the all the
space.
beer you've ever drank is.
Do you think anybody's ever shot a load in space? Like
I mean,
like on a space station
they're
or
out
something?
there for a long time. Some of them have to do
I'm
something.
not gonna lie. I would probably be trying to get on fucking YouPorn or something when I'm out in space. Wonder if do I get any reception out
You
here?
got to do something, right? Well, yeah, they can beam back.
I got satellites up here. I better get some good ass
They
reception.
can, yeah, the satellite's right next to you. I mean, you
Like,
can
I'm
reach out
right
and touch
here.
it, so,
Dude,
yeah.
is that where those wasn't there a cell phone company like that? Reach Out and Touch or something like that?
Your guess is better than mine. I have no idea. Reach out and touch cellular service.
It's like a Reach Out and Touch or something. I don't know. Anybody out there in the world? Do you guys remember this one? It was like an old cell. It
Interesting.
was probably like AT&T or what was AT&T's off-brand for a minute there? Cellular One or
Singular.
something. Singular. There you go.
Yep.
I don't know. If
Yeah,
Reach Out,
cell phones. Gosh, there's a gal.
Reach Out and Touch. That kind of sounds a little
Reach out and
predatorial.
touch somebody.
Reach out and touch them.
There's a gal I've been watching, well, not watching, but like, YouTube shorts.
Okay.
This has been a summer of YouTube shorts for me. I try to avoid the stupidity of just
I was gonna say
scrolling.
it wasn't just some rando girl you're watching like a.
No, I'm not sitting in a park with sunglasses on just watching. This is a woman that puts out videos, but they're all about growing up in like the 90s and stuff.
Oh,
And
nice.
all these memories that you've probably forgotten. And the one of them she did, it cracked me up because I had forgotten this. The sound that the speakers would make when your cell phone was going to ring.
Oh, like-
and then all of a sudden your
Yeah.
cell phone would ring.
Oh yeah,
I
you
was
get that
like,
interference.
Oh, that was universal. I just thought my speakers sucked.
So I seen a video
Yeah.
like that. I don't think it's this lady, but it's. Do you remember pencil fighting when you'd come through? Pow. Did you ever do that?
No, I was always
Like-
a nice kid.
No. You
No, I don't
you'd
know.
go with your friends and they one hold it like this, and then the other one would come through, and you'd.
Okay.
Some people do.
Maybe I do. Maybe I remember doing
But that was like a thing I remember doing as growing up. I better move that pencil because I will play with the fuck out of that. I'll be like twisting it and shit. But it's funny because so my dad was here for a few days.
Yeah, your dad came to town. It was a fun time. Your dad's always a joy to be around. He's a good
Yeah,
guy.
it was actually pretty nice because, well, we'll get that in a second. But one of the last days we went out to dinner. It was me, my dad, Alicia, and Jan.
Uh-huh.
And so we're waiting to eat, and they bring us like chopsticks because we went to Fujiyama.
Oh, yeah.
And so I go, babe, and I get the chopstick. And I was like, let's pencil fight. So we're sitting there. Like little kids. I could see my dad be like, kids, stop.
We're at the table.
Hands to yourselves. My mom used to, like, if the kids were fighting in the car or whatever, she'd be like, sit on your hands.
Yes.
I would sit on my hands. I don't think she would yell that to my brother and sister more than me because I was in the front seat.
Yeah.
I had the big brother,
Sure.
older person privilege of being in the front.
You're the one that was a sacrificial lamb for
For
any car accident. Yeah.
anybody, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And parenting mistakes, all that stuff.
Yeah. Theo Vaughn talking about the old not minivans, the old the long cars. What were they called?
Like
hatchback station wagons.
Oh, station wagon.
And he's talking
Yeah.
about how his mom, like your mom can never reach you in those
Because it's too far back.
Yeah, if you haven't heard that, listen to Theo Vaughn talking about that. That's pretty funny.
We used to have a station wagon when I was growing up. I can remember it had
Toyota blue, light blue Toyota. It was a Camry, but a station wagon.
See, I don't remember because it was like in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
It was like I can't remember what it was. Probably something like Ford or something. I'm
Sure.
guessing, but it had the wood panels.
Oh yeah, white with the wood panel. That's kind of the
This was like a
classic.
brownish. I'm making this color up,
It
but
could
I don't
be
think it was
brown.
white. I think the one I'm thinking of wasn't white.
Yeah,
Mom, if you're watching or listening, do you remember that?
What color was a
yeah.
station wagon?
She used to have this.
And what brand was a station wagon?
So when we were growing up, this made me just think of this. She used to have this Monte Carlo, and I remember she loved this car.
The Monte Carlos are the ones that have like the truck back on it, right?
No, it looks just like a S.A. Holmes car. I don't know how to
Okay.
Corny.
Yeah.
He has a Monte Carlo.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever
So
seen
it's like a 2-door. Is that right? Okay. Yeah.
It's like something like that. I think this was like a super sport too, so it was like pretty nice. They're kind of box like,
Yes,
but
yes.
they're pretty nice cars.
I know what you're talking about.
But I guess we used to have one of those, and I think that one was white if I can recall. But my stepdad then I think he ended up selling it for money to like gamble or something. I don't know,
Oh,
you know.
nice. Yeah.
Priorities, baby.
Hey, you already have a
Prioritize.
car, so you gamble so you can get money so you can buy a car.
Yeah, this dude would gamble like my mom's, and I guess his like checks
Yeah.
away. Like,
So it wasn't a very good gambler.
no, he wasn't a very good person
Yeah, that's sad.
to say the least.
That's sad.
But no, it was. But yeah, no. Getting back to dads.
Yeah, back to the main conversation.
My dad, he came. Was it Monday or Tuesday? I can't recall. And he stayed until Thursday. He was the day they left. Thursday morning, early. But it was really nice to like get to know him. For people who don't know, I just recently found out who my father was. Probably when I was about 28. I'm 43 now. I met him. I don't know if I was 28 when I met him or 29, but it was relatively close back then because I went to a wedding. It was my sister Nicole. It was her wedding, and that's the first time I met my dad. And that's Blanca was with me then, and yeah, it was just cool. That was like one of the first times that I met him, and I've only actually legit when I was thinking about it when he was here, I've only really seen him a handful of times.
Yeah.
Like, less than 10 times
Because I
maybe.
know we saw him at the wedding.
Yeah.
That's when we met him and Jan.
Yeah.
And that's really the only conversation we've ever had.
and
with him.
and honestly, that was probably like the 4th, 5th time that, we had a visit or something.
But you
Nothing
were, of course, very busy on that day. So that probably
yeah.
wasn't a lot of time talking to your
like,
dad.
all right, Dad. But like this go around was kind of nice because I felt like we connected more on a personal level.
Uh-huh.
Like I got to know him a little more.
Nice.
And it sounds like they got to know me a little more. Jan, I love the woman. She like asks a lot of questions.
Yeah.
She's very, and I like that. She's very inquisitive. Is that the word?
Very engaging.
Yeah, she
very, very engaged. She was a teacher for, I forget how many years she said.
Say
for
like 20
decades.
plus years.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
yeah, so she was fascinating to talk to. And your dad, I didn't realize, was a maintenance guy
Yeah.
at the school district, and I didn't find out.
He did
Was
like
that where they
fire
met?
alarms. Yeah, he would go in there in the library and they'd meet in there and
He'd put the Mac
what's up,
down
girl?
on there.
What's up,
Old
girl?
Jan.
What's up, Jan? You read this book yet?
Yeah, I got some.
You read?
books for you. You come over and see my books.
You want to see my collection, girl?
That's pretty great.
But no, it was cool to like just talk to him because then I started like, I guess I could see similarities between him and I.
Sure.
But it's weird because, like I said, I didn't grow up with him. But to have some of the similarities that we have, and then talking to my dad, he grew up kind of not, I guess, rough too. He grew up in a boys' home for a minute.
Oh.
And it was just was very fascinating. And, after he left, I started thinking of questions like, God, I should have asked more questions how it was in the boys' home. Like,
Yeah.
he was there for, I think he said 6 years or something crazy. It was like a long time.
Wow.
And, he just told me about some of his things that happened in his life. And then you get to thinking like, God, you go through these things in your life and shit you can go one way or the other. You can either become a better person, or you can just go down that same road that you're familiar with or whatever. Right. But it's cool because obviously he went down the better road. Mm-hmm. And it's just fascinating to, I don't know. Maybe that's where I got it. Yeah. I like to think I came out on the good side of life, even though life probably wasn't the greatest growing up.
Sure.
But to see that he did that too, it's like, oh, that's cool.
The genes were there.
It's a barber thing.
Yeah, I guess it is.
It's a barber thing, man.
And you provided a life for your kids that it's different. They will never have that experience that you had.
Yeah, and that's cool, but it's sometimes I think about it like it's also not cool.
Yeah.
It's cool because obviously I don't want my kids to feel like there wasn't someone there. Like,
yeah, it's cool in the sense that we provided them stability, but like we've talked before, we've made it so eady for our kids now that adversity, they're missing adversity.
Yeah, there you go.
And so, like yesterday, just a little side note on that point, Elliot was at his grandparents for a sleepover, and
cool.
He called me when I was out in the yard doing stuff, and I'm ready to come home. So I said, okay. So I went and got him, brought him home, and I'm like, you're going to help me for a little bit. And he's like, that's okay. And so I'm like, no, buddy. See, that's the thing, is if I ask you for help, you're going to help me.
Yeah.
So he was going to pull weeds with me, but then I looked over and we've got these fruit trees that drop fruit like crazy right now. It's like, I'll tell you what, because he wanted to go play with his cousin Logan. I was like, if you go and pick up all those fruits, because I had just done it to mow, so it wasn't a ton.
Yeah.
If you do that, then you can be done. You can go. He was almost throwing up, picking up, because, they get kind of mushy. And he's like, oh. I'm like, buddy, I love you. I'm not going to let you stop. You've got to do this. You got to get a little tougher.
It's not turds.
Yeah. I mean, and it is gross. Don't get me wrong.
Well,
Your fingers go into them sometimes. Like, they're mushy. But that's the adversity piece, and it's so easy to do. You love your kids.
Oh, yeah.
And they go from being babies to being full-grown kids before your brain even really recognizes it.
Before you can even know what to do.
Yeah. And so it's like I've really been guilty of letting them off the hook a lot. And
it takes a minute to figure out, you're still trying to figure out what to do as a parent. And then all of a sudden they're past that point. Yeah. So you're like, oh, shit.
And that's the biggest thing that I think is so interesting about having your own kids that you don't get until you have your own kids is, I remember like growing up feeling like I had to, and it wasn't my parents' fault. It was just me. Mm-hmm. Like I had to prove something, or being like, in my mind, hard on my parents, like, oh, I wish you wouldn't have done this or that, or like, you're just scrutinizing your parent.
Yeah. Such a loser, mom.
Yeah, but then you get to that adult place and you realize you didn't have everything figured out.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel like a full-grown adult. Maybe some people do, but like when you're an adult, you're still kind of figuring things out and trying to do the best that you can and do the right thing, but yeah, well, you're just a fallible person.
I'm 43 and I'm still trying to figure out myself sometimes.
Right.
You
and
know
I
what I mean?
Know that
like,
ever
so
ends.
weird.
Isn't that humanity? We're on this rock just flying through space.
And that's something like I've said to Alicia too before is the kids won't really appreciate the things we do for them until they're older.
Right.
Until they realize shit.
Let them buy a house.
So it was kind of interesting. I don't know if it was last week or so. Cheeky mentioned she mentioned something like about that. Like she's like, I guess I never realized basically how kind of good I have it right now. Like
really,
I don't go.
She
without.
actually acknowledged that.
She did, because I think something happened with a friend where
age.
she heard her friends are like having to figure out how to get here or have to do this, and she's like, it made me think like I don't really have to do those things,
right?
You guys help.
The survival piece isn't there.
Yeah,
she's thriving,
and so it's like it's sometimes that like I said, it takes a while before you realize, fuck,
right?
I got it pretty easy, or that appreciation doesn't you know,
Yeah.
it takes a while. As a parent, you don't, you know, I get where my mom came from with some things because it's like, you know, you don't appreciate the things they do until it's like you go through that same stuff,
Right.
and then you're like, okay, I see where she's coming from.
Well, not everybody
I can
has
see where it's
the same life experiences to provide their kids with the same upbringing, the same opportunity, I guess. And that's the part for me that's like, I wish there were a way that we could help adults learn those skills, you know, like,
Yeah.
like with our,
I almost feel like you have to go through those somehow, because I don't know if that's like a learned thing. Like you'd have to have that like experience.
Right.
Like,
and I'm
okay,
thinking,
we're gonna
like,
fake kill your mom so you can figure it out.
yeah, for entitled kids, like your parents are gonna leave for a while.
Yeah.
This is a burner. And like, I don't know. Here's a can of beans.
Like,
figure it out.
You know what I mean, though? Something like that.
Well, I think for us, where we've been guilty and where we need to you know, just tighten the belt a little bit is our kids. It's very good to give kids stability. I don't think it's healthy for kids to have instability, but
It's
responsibility and understanding that they are a part of something bigger is extremely important. And I've done a terrible job with letting my kids off the hook.
Well, yeah,
both of them. I mean, and Elena, you know, last week we tightened the belt with her because of some things, and she did an amazing job right away. I was very, very proud of the way she handled it.
Yeah.
She didn't complain, she didn't whine, and instantly her attitude, whether she was faking it until she made it or whatever, her attitude was so much better.
Yeah.
And so it's
even here she was doing better. Like, I mean, obviously she was on the phone a little more than what you guys allowed.
Right, but I mean, I think some of what we had talked, and I think you guys agreed with in this is, you know, she was getting to a point of being rude to people without knowing that that's what it was.
Yeah.
And we stopped talking carefully.
Yeah.
And just laid it out to her.
Instead of tiptoeing.
And it was amazing that I think she heard it. I think I mean, who knows? Maybe she's like drawing pictures of me dead or something. But like,
nah,
you know, I mean,
I haven't seen those ones.
She's a sweet, respectful kid.
Yeah.
But like any teenager, I mean, it's, you know, they have everything that they could ever want.
Well, see, that's one of those things that you learn. You know, your kid goes through something and you don't know how to, you know, you've never dealt with that, you know, like, you know,
fear,
my
the
daughter
anxiety.
went through something. So like, there's this like eggshells you feel like you got to walk on, or you don't want them to start maybe feeling that
you
way
want to trigger them towards, you know, whatever. And
yeah. Like depression or whatever it is. And then you're like, but then at the same time, it is a hindrance, and it's like, probably not the best thing for
I
them.
think we just let, you know, I think there was a period of time where that was probably the smart move and what we should have done. But I don't think any of us ever really got out of that.
I know I didn't.
Routine, you know, of the whole thing. But yeah, when we just laid it out, I mean, she heard it. She didn't interrupt. She just listened. She, you know, I mean, there was a little bit of normal kids stuff.
Well, you know, kids give you that stare where you can tell they're just off.
Yeah.
I used to stare at my mom until she was very far away. No, I could stare at my mom and it would be weird. I would stare at my mom.
Tunnel vision?
Yeah, and then she would just kind of get further away, but I'd be staring like I just had that blank stare, like boo. And I don't know. Yeah, I'll take some. And I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's good that she did it. Like I said, like she, you know, when she was here, I was, you know, having her come with me to the store.
Right.
She was upstairs a lot more. You know, we did paint night and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, we've stopped allowing her to opt out of things.
Yeah. No,
you know, we used to just let her
to
go.
the river yesterday. Yeah, no, you can't opt it out. You got to. Sorry.
Yeah, and we explained to her why. You know, we tried to be very clear on like the reason for this, and we got to have our kids ready for a future. I mean, our world is not getting easier; it's getting harder.
Yeah,
and so
you know,
they've got to be.
And you're gonna have to fake things too sometimes.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
I work in customer service. I have to fake a lot of shit.
Yeah,
I might not like all the people I have to encounter,
but you're gonna act like.
But I act like it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. And
Yeah,
it's like,
it's a little easier in my job. It's kind of hard to not like 6-year-olds. You know, like
oh, it's easier.
But,
I feel like
you know,
you little ungrateful shit.
Well, there are some kids that definitely show you attitude, but
that's normal.
You know, that's the age. But you know, it is fascinating having the experience, and you realize too, I mean, I guess it depends on the childhood you had. I know that there are some parents that really don't love their kids, so that's probably out. But I used to, like I said, feel like I had to prove something to my parents or prove myself in some way. And then you have your own kids and you realize how much you love your kids. You actually understand the love, and you kind of somehow realize at some point, like, okay, they felt that for me.
Yeah.
There's this weird period of time where you get it all of a sudden, that your parents never judged you the way that you thought that they did.
Yeah.
Or never looked at you. Like, I always felt like, oh, I was not smart enough, or I wasn't like good enough, and like blah, blah, blah. And nothing that they ever did.
It's just a thing inside.
It's just your childish, like, probably egotism.
Well, even as an adult, there's times I have that same, I as an adult, I have those same thoughts where I'm like, I'm not good enough.
Sure.
I got to prove myself, or I got to do this.
By the way, anytime you see a guy that's flipping out on something, that's what's going through his head. Whether he realizes it or not, it's something about an inadequacy.
I had
that's why he's breaking the hose bib. And
one of my buddies sent me like I'm in this group chat, but we usually share like golf clips, whatever, just funny ones or whatever.
Yeah.
And this one he sends it was like these guys. Then these are professional golfers. It's not me and you, little amateurs. These dudes were just like any other guy, get pissed, and they would huck their club about 50 yards. And it was like, this is a bronze throw. And then they showed the gold throw. The guy throws it in the middle of the water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that's where...
But I'm like, you know how much these cost me? I don't got a sponsor.
The second that they do that, instantly...
My wife's my sponsor.
Away, and then they're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And then what do? You go to the clubhouse and ask if anybody can... How do you get it back?
I bet you what people do is after it clears, there's people that are probably like...
Oh, sure.
I'm going in for that one.
Yeah. How many golf clubs do you think might be in the average... I was just at Columbia Point the other day, a pretty nice golf course that we have, and they've got large bodies of water out there. I mean, you could...
I bet you there's some stuff. I bet you because they rake those places with to get the balls out. Yeah. I saw a video of a guy. He was in scuba gear, and he got paid. Was it 8 cents a ball or something?
Really?
At least this is what the video shows.
Sure.
How true that is, I have no idea.
How fun would that be to just scuba dive for golf balls?
Bro, when he came up, he had a garbage sack, like a 13-gallon sack full of balls.
Wow.
All of a sudden, he just comes out and he's like, oh.
Wow. Look at that.
It was probably, maybe not the whole thing was full, but it was, I mean, we're talking, there's probably a good 200 plus balls in this sack.
Wow.
It was a lot. It was crazy.
Well, I know I've lost at least 300 in the water, so I mean, I can imagine.
Like, hey, is there a nitro in there?
No, it's so funny. At one of the golf courses that we go to quite a bit, Pasco Golfland, I know I've seen my balls in their little reclaimed ball bin that you can buy. You buy balls from them, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that one was mine.
So something I noticed when I was doing that tournament thing.
Yeah.
So my buddy Efren and then this other guy, his name's Sammy. They're both pretty good golfers, but they both did the same thing. They'll get their golf ball before they go, and they'll draw a line on it.
Yes. Yeah, my dad does that.
And then my buddy Efren would put his initial on his, an E. And I was like, oh, okay. So I could see, TP, you know, putting your initials on there.
Plenty of those out there.
And be like, there it is. There's my ball.
Yeah, and I wonder if they could keep it if you had a marker on there. If you claimed it and said, that's actually my ball, if they would have to give it back to you.
I saw this other video. The guy's like, he's walking. And we do this as you golf. Ooh, I found me a golf ball.
Yeah.
Right? Ooh, a Titleist Pro V? Oh, yeah,
I'm taking that. Yeah.
And then this guy comes out of nowhere. Hey, have you seen a Titleist Pro V anywhere? And the guy's like,
drop it, kick it.
He's like, no, I haven't seen nothing. He's like, I thought I hit it over this way earlier. He's like, you sure? He's like, yeah, no, didn't see nothing. He starts walking. He's like, I got a GPS thing on it. Let me check. And then you hear the ball beep.
How nice would that be?
And he's like, wait a minute. He goes, yeah, no, I think it's coming from back here.
Yeah.
He's like, give me my ball back.
I actually will not pick up balls if there's any chance that it's somebody else's. Like if it's in tall grass where it's like there's no way the person found it, and I just happen to find it.
Well, if
Then
there's
I'll
no one
take it, or if
behind
I'm
me,
looking and there's no one and there's nobody coming the other way, then I'm like, well, that's obviously safe to take. But yeah, if there's people in the vicinity, I'm like, I wouldn't want someone to do that to me.
no.
But it's amazing how easy it is to lose a golf ball in some of the dumbest places.
Oh.
Like not even super long grass, and you watched it, you saw where it landed, and you walk over there, and then it's just gone.
Gone.
It's like socks, you know.
It's probably either a gopher or a squirrel. I always blame it on the squirrels or something. They thought it was a nut, and they're
It's
just
like that movie, Caddyshack.
Yeah. The gopher.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie.
That movie, I don't know if
forever.
it's true. I think it's true because I think it was actual like production people that talked about it. But you know that part where they blow up part of the golf course? Mm-hmm. I guess the golf course didn't agree to that. And they wanted it in the movie so bad that they rigged it up like without the golf course knowing. And then they did it, but they already had planned to like rebuild that part of the golf course for them.
They better.
But yeah, I'm like, that's gutsy, man. Can you imagine?
We made a lot of money. Here you go.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, like
you just
it's
fucked my fairway.
I was looking at because I mow my backyard in a way to have like a little like it doesn't work as like a putting green because the grass is crap, but you at least have an area to like chip at. And I looked at what goes into like building a green. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have layers of different things. You have to have drainage pipes. You've got to have like, there's a whole science
Special
to it.
sand, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like layers and layers and layers. Then you got to get this like bent grass and like researching that like, you don't want to put that in your yard. Apparently like on a golf course it works well, but like if you don't have like professional maintenance, it's very hard. I don't know.
Hello,
I don't know.
I'm a dad. I'm professional.
Yeah. Have you seen my yard?
Immaculate.
Oh yeah, and I didn't have water for 2 weeks, so I didn't mow, and it got crazy. But I'm so glad I didn't mow because I mowed it, and it was all green. It stayed green for 2 weeks.
Well, that's how.
In the heat.
Well, that's so when we were on vacation, we were gone for a couple weeks, whatever. And my yard never dried up, but it was also super long.
Yeah, mine was too.
I kind of miss having my riding mower for that.
I'll bet.
It's just still sitting out back right there, downhill, just sitting there.
So you want to hear something funny?
I just want to throw it away now.
My blower wasn't working. I have a Husqvarna blower. And it wasn't working.
You better get her to work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was like a multitude of things. But my dad was telling me about the carburetor and how he bought like this new carburetor for his weed whacker, I think. And it was pretty easy to install and it works great. And it was like, I mean, on Amazon, these things are like $18.
Oh, okay.
It's like
dirt.
Crazy awesome. So I was like, all right, that's got to be it. So I buy the carburetor, do all the work to like reinstall it. So it's got a new like filter in the gas tank. It's got like everything new. But I didn't change out the spark plug because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I already did that. Mm-hmm. So I get that all installed. Took quite a while, but it wasn't too tough. Got it all installed. Go to do it. Does the same thing. It starts up and then very quickly dies. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I'm like, okay, maybe the air filter wasn't as good as it looked. So I took that out. They gave you 2 air filters. So I'm like, I'll just use one of the new air filters. I pop it in there, do it again, same thing. I'm like, what the hell? The gas had sat in there a while.
Oh, okay.
But it was like it should have worked. In my mind, it wasn't like so out there that I'm like, it's the gas, right? So then I'm like, okay, maybe it's a spark plug. I thought I changed out the spark plugs and everything, but maybe I didn't. Pull the spark plug. Oh, it was black. I'm like, oh, it's the spark plug. Throw that away. Put the new one in because they give you one. It was amazing what they gave you for $18. I loved it. Don't change it, Amazon. But so then tighten that in. Go. Same thing. So I'm like, fuck, man. And then it was too late. I didn't want to keep turning the blower on because, neighbors and stuff. I'm like, I'm not going to be that kind of guy. So I dumped out all the gas and I waited till the next day, put brand new gas in it, boom, fired it up. It was like, I probably could have just changed the gas out in the first place and had everything.
That's what happened. There's some kind of like gas stuff you put into
the additive, yeah, for when you store it.
Yeah. That's supposed to like help not do that. But I've had issues with where my spark plug was in my mower, and it was like that black, and it wasn't, but it was actually the spark plug for me.
Yeah.
But what I did, because I didn't have a spark plug, is I took it out and then I wiped it down, and then I like sanded the little flint that's in it.
Yeah.
You know how it kind of comes up and there's like that little flint. That's what it looks like to me. Anyway, I sanded that down.
And it worked again?
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, I didn't sand it like, crazy, but I just
basically cleaned up.
Yeah, like the contact.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Wow.
So the metal piece, I just went clean that up.
I
And
wonder
just
how
kind of
long
like
a spark plug. I didn't even think they're not that expensive, so I've never tried that.
I needed a mow. Didn't want to run all the way to because I know I would have ended up mowing because I'd have been like, it's been too long.
Right.
Later on, I ended up changing the spark plug just because I didn't want to keep having to do that. But
Right. I guess it would probably do that pretty quick, huh?
well, I think my mower at that time that I had was already kind of on the down slopes because I never. At that time, I didn't do like the oil changes.
The maintenance.
Yeah. Like, now I'll do it every 4 years.
I know, right. But you don't
15
run them.
years.
You don't really run them that much. I mean, once a week or twice a week.
Nah, once a week for sure.
that's,
Once every 4 weeks.
Yeah.
No, that's how it looked. My dad, when he was here, my yard was all like trash. I don't like when people come and like I haven't done my yard.
Yeah.
You
Mine was the same way when your dad came.
like, fuck. But you have an excuse, like, well, my water's not working. I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, I break the water about once a month, just
Just so I don't mow.
I
was just like, I just hadn't had a chance
yeah.
to do it. And then I think it was one of the days, like he came over or whatever. We hung out for a bit, and then him and Jan would go take a nap. And then I came back, and I think that day I mowed. Let me mow this out and do that. Yeah, got to make my yard look nice. Because I'm like, fuck, I don't, my house looks like shit.
No, it's just crazy how, like yesterday I spent probably 5 hours pulling weeds and killing off, like we have rocks in front of our house. So instead of a sidewalk, we've got like the rocks because we have more of a rural road, right? And I really hate it when weeds and shit start growing.
Well, that's like in front of my mailbox.
It just looks like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like it when it looks nice and clean. And so I noticed that weeds started popping up again. So I got all those out and I threw down. Preen is amazing. If you guys have ever used Preen, it's a pre-emergent killer. So it won't let seedlings actually take root. So that keeps things clean for quite a while. I did it in spring. It was time to do it again. So I threw that stuff down. I threw weed killer down. I've got Bermuda grass that I'm killing off. Resprayed all that.
So Bermuda grass.
Yeah.
They use that on golf courses.
So they do. There
Like
are
a type,
different
right?
breeds of Bermuda grass. Yes. The ones that we have would not work well. The Bermuda grass that I have, it grows out like fingers, right?
Yeah.
And then it roots down. So you end up with these long strings of really thick, like veins. And you pull them, and I mean, they can be 10 feet long and they spread.
Yeah.
And I found that it's easier to control than I thought.
Yeah.
But they don't, like for golfing, you would have basically fingers to try to cut through to get your ball,
It'd be all cut.
And it ends up very spongy. But yeah, they do use types of Bermuda grass.
Okay. I knew
so
they-
that bent grass, I think, must be some type of Bermuda, because if you look at the way it grows, there's almost like two pieces of grass that come out together.
Oh.
But it's very fine. The Bermuda grass we tend to have is very thick.
I just need to buy a bunch of grass seed and start throwing it on my yard so I can use
I'm going to do that, I think, before, like in probably late fall.
Yeah, they say you want to like overseed.
Yeah, I'm going to put a bunch down in my front especially. And hopefully we get some snowpack this winter and it'll kind of push it down, and then in spring it'll grow.
Does one of grass clippings would help with that? Like, mulch.
I don't know.
Instead of picking it up, you mulch. Dude, we love landscape here on Just Weirdly Blended.
Yeah, we're welcome back to Landscaping Sundays.
Yeah, when it's 34 degrees Fahrenheit, it's crazy fun to grow grass.
Yeah, I mean, there is something very enjoyable. I was kind of pissy when I was done because I was tired, but
Of course.
there is a really good feeling when you you feel like so connected to your land. when you're working it. You know,
This guy got a little native blood in him.
yeah.
Speaking of native, I'm waiting for my ancestry DNA to come back.
Oh, did you do that?
Yeah, I had a kit from about 4 or 5 years ago that I used.
Yeah.
And I finally was like, okay, I sent it in about a month and a half, about maybe a month ago. I think it was just before, I think it was just before we left.
Okay.
On vacation. So I should be getting the results back next week.
That's exciting.
We'll see what I am. We all know what I am.
Did you say your mom's part native?
Yeah, she's
That's cool. So at least you know you got some.
my real grandpa. I never met him, but he was I think he was Cherokee.
Full?
He was pretty much almost like full.
Dude, you could be.
You
could get money from a tribe.
I might be I might have an eighth. Is what I've heard.
An eighth is legally enough.
An eighth, dude. Man, I
Legally.
haven't smoked an eighth in years.
No, but seriously, there's a certain
It's like Navajo is what I might
based
have.
on the tribe. You could qualify if you're on their books for native money.
Bruh, dude, I just found out I'm a native, bro.
They'll
I want
accept you
some
if
of
you
that
have the
money.
blood. I apparently was an eighth Cherokee, or no, 136th Cherokee or something, but.
Did you guys take one?
But no.
Oh.
My grandmother said that the courthouse with the records burned down. So I was like, we're pretty white. I don't think they're going to accept that. And I
got high
don't
cheekbones.
even know that it's true. Yeah, you can see the
I got
native in
high
there.
cheekbones. I'm definitely native.
No,
I just got
I'm
I'm all cheekbone
pretty
with 'em.
damn European. I think my dad did it. And it's amazing how British Isles I am.
Hello.
On his side. My grandparents' side, I do have Irish, Dutch, French.
Do you got the cool
German.
British accent on your side? Or is it
Yes.
No, I like the
I
one
actually
that's
have to
more
cover
ghetto.
out my British accent.
I like the cool ghetto
Oh,
sound.
believe me, my family was definitely the ghetto. We were like the
Hello.
poor Brits.
Scurvy.
We were
scurvy.
our mothers are prostitutes and our
suck.
fathers were drunks. I'm pretty sure that's why we came to America.
I think when I come back, I believe from even talking to my dad and stuff, we're Scottish.
Okay.
I got Scottish blood in
We
me.
could be related. We might be part of the Parham clan.
That'd be crazy.
But yeah, so on my grandmother's side there was Montgomery was one of them, which I think is Irish or Scottish, or maybe it's British. I don't freaking know. But then there was Lingle, which was Irish. That was my grandmother's maiden name. So
You guys got limericks and stuff?
Yes.
The Parham limerick, okay?
yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. We had little ditties and jingles, and
I love that word.
now I don't know what Parham means. I don't think it means anything, but there is
Cheese.
a town. I've read that we came from a little town called Barham, which is about an hour southeast of London. And I looked it up on a map and okay, I could see that. And then over time, it changed from Barham to Parham. I did get a little thing that said that one of my ancestors killed Thomas Becket.
Okay.
I was an assassin. I'm like,
Thomas Becket.
he was the Archduke. Not
okay.
Archduke. He
I'm
was, he was
Becket,
the
the baseball magazine?
yeah.
He created that?
He was the Thomas Becket was the not Archduke because he wasn't. He was a church.
Like a Catholic kind of.
Yeah, he was like
The Archbishop.
there you go. That was it, Archbishop. And so he apparently there was a lot of politics around it, and he ended up getting whacked. And according to
That's
this
cool,
thing,
though.
it was my ancestor was one of 3 who took him out. I don't know how accurate that is.
Assassin's Creed
It
7.
was one of my aunt gave it to me, and it was one of those things you go to this kiosk and they print it out for you or something. So I don't know how accurate. They
know.
probably tell every British person you killed Thomas Becket.
Did you know that? Yeah, mine's I believe so. I don't know if Louis has this or if we still have it, but I got this. I think my dad gave it to us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a barber. It had the family crest. It had that kind of stuff.
Is it kind of tall and it looks like old paper?
No, this one's just this green book, booklet.
Oh.
And then it has all the barbers, barbers that are around. I don't know.
Interesting.
And it's the history of the name.
Yeah.
Because I know we came from barber, which was BARBER.
Okay.
And now it's
And you guys are hair cutters?
apparently. And then it came from like now it's like, you know, it transitioned into Barbour.
Right.
Is how my last name is spelled with the Bour.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's
I had heard
it's pretty interesting. But if I can find the actual family crest, that's like a tattoo I'd get.
Oh, cool.
Just to have it.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "You're Mexican. What are you doing?" I'm gonna go back to my motherland of Scotland.
You should.
I'm here.
I'm a Mexican Scot.
Hello. I know. I can't even talk in a Scottish.
Who's the boxer with the red hair that's Mexican? What's his name?
Oh, Canelo?
Yeah, Canelo.
Yeah.
That guy's got some Irish in him.
Gotta
There's no
have.
way. There's no way.
His mama had some Irish in him.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh.
She's transgender. Gender's fluid. I
don't know. It doesn't matter.
Canelo, it's a joke. He said it, not me. If you want to beat somebody,
You want to fight?
Canelo's mom is a man. I don't know if you
Damn,
heard this.
I think you're the one who said he was a man. I just mispronounced something. I think me and Canelo are about the same height too.
Oh yeah.
I think so. I think he's about 5'7".
So maybe I can hold him back. Probably
God,
not.
look at this little guy.
He'd just throw my hand out of the way and punch me so fast.
Dude, I want to know. I don't want to know, but I wonder how it feels getting hit by like a real boxer.
I don't know if you'd register it until the next day when you wake up from your coma.
My eyes have been
Eyes are
twitching
crossed for the next
3
month.
weeks.
What happened? Fuck Canelo.
I got $1 million for it though.
I would not do well. I mean, yeah.
Would you take a hit from Mike Tyson for like 20 mil?
Thinking about that, I'm for 20 mil. I would take a hit. One hit.
Yeah, but where? You get a pick.
My head.
Would you want it in the face or in the stomach?
Like right here. Like you get a punch
Just
me.
punch me in my
the
butt cheeks.
Outer pectoral near the shoulder, but nothing that's gonna be my butt cheek.
Just punch me in my butt
Punch
cheek.
me in my butt cheek from the side.
When I was growing up, I remember going to the doctor one time.
And he punched you in the butt cheek.
He'd give us shots in the butt.
Yeah.
Right in the butt cheeks.
Yep. He didn't have to, but
He would shoot it and then he would like stick his finger like right on my bung, just so I wouldn't feel the shot.
most doctors
Whoa.
like to go into the arm, but I like to pull a kid's pants down and go their tush.
Yeah, you took
Was
it down
that
real
medically
slow.
necessary?
I was just. This has nothing to do with the.
Was his name Larry Nasser by chance?
It was Dr. Larry Nasser.
And then he went to a college.
I don't remember his name. He was this old guy.
Yeah.
He could have been pretty. No, he was actually, if I recall, he was actually a pretty cool doctor.
Sure.
But I remember he pretty much gave me like a. My mom said, I think my mom said he gave me like this shot that had like pretty much like I was pretty like allergic to stuff apparently.
Oh.
He gave me a concoction of a bunch of shots apparently. I don't know. I don't know how true that is.
And now you're not allergic.
I'm not allergic to anything.
Wow.
I mean, my allergies act up every now and then though.
That's interesting. I did allergy shots for years.
Oh, did
but
you?
it was like a one time
There was a shot that I got when I was younger that was like
an antihistamine shot.
I don't know.
He's dying. All right.
Let's just give him I think it's
And that
insulin.
was in your butt as well.
Probably in my butthole. No one else got shots in their butthole. Just
Yeah,
me.
it was weird. He didn't want me to look. It was a
It
very
wasn't a
large
needle either. It was just the syringe.
There was a phalange, I believe. He said it has to go in the butt.
God, that would.
I don't know.
I had it. It was an enema. So gross. I don't know.
Man.
No, but really, it was nice to see my dad.
Back to that point. It was nice to see
It
your
was-
dad.
it
So your
was.
dad is a weekly listener.
And
And,
I think one of the things I was going to mention too that I thought was cool was even though I kind of mentioned it was our rough life growing up or the things we went through. Like we both seem to not hold grudges because like so my mom, you know, she didn't tell me about my dad until I was obviously almost 30.
And she didn't tell him either, right? Like,
I don't know. See, that's the part I don't know. I felt like she had said she told him, but he might not have believed her.
okay.
Either way, I don't know. I just know I never really held the grudge. And I remember like Louie and Blanca were like, "Aren't you upset?" You know, I'm like, "Why? Why?" Meaning like, obviously, I'm like, I'm not upset. I just, you know, she had her reasons, I guess, not to tell me this and that. Like, there's no reason to get mad. I know now.
Right.
Right. And so I can't get upset.
Do you think it impacted you in ways like, some of the anger or something at times? Do you think that inside internally that affects you at all? Or do you
maybe subconsciously that I don't know about or something?
But it is good that like your point is not dwelling on it, not letting it control you.
And with my dad, like the things he went through, he had that same kind of that same mindset, really, like what, like.
So you said he grew up in a boys' home. Did he talk like did his parents like was he kind of abandoned at some point, or
that's how I take it? Yeah, like his dad like took him from his mom. Like it was crazy, like his life. So he was basically taken from his mom at this age, but then he got put in a boys' home for, I want to say he said 6 years.
Yeah, could be. I mean,
it was quite some time.
Yeah,
that had passed. And then he
Well, and sadly, a lot of those places weren't the best places for kids. They didn't quite have the safeguards that they do now.
Yeah, they had. I remember they had a boys' home in Nevada, Boys Town or something it was called. Like that. And my stepdad or my mom, one of them, threatened to put me in that thing. But I don't know. I don't know how that'd have been. It'd been fun, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. Well,
maybe not.
What's her name?
It's probably rough.
Paris Hilton speaks out quite a bit now because she got sent to some child camp type thing, and apparently a lot of bad stuff happens, and she went to Congress and testified and said like this needs to be stopped.
And I think there's questions like that I wanted to ask my dad, and I just we're just talking stuff, but then I later on I'll think about questions like I should ask him this, or I should have said this, but like I said, it was cool. We went for like a walk. We went for walks and stuff, and just to talk. Right. It was just like at first it was weird because I'm not a person that knows how to like host people.
Sure.
I don't know what to do.
I got you.
I'm kind of go with the flow type guy. And come to find out, my dad's the same way. We're like, with Alicia is like, hey, let's go do this. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If there's something I legit don't want to do, I'll say it. But for the most part, I'm like,
whatever.
Let's just fucking go. Fuck it. Yeah. Fuck it. Some weird question.
That's your life's motto, right? Fuck it.
Fuck it. Yeah. Fuck it. That's how I got all them STDs. Fuck it. I'm just kidding. I don't have STDs. No, I was actually asking Alicia this. This has nothing to do with like my dad or anything. But we were at Walmart today because we went to work out this morning, right? And afterwards we went to Walmart. And as we're leaving, there's this girl coming out. And she has like a tattoo on her stomach, right? A pretty it's not a little tiny one. It was like
a big one
across her whole stomach.
Okay.
And I know they call the ones on the back a tramp stamp. Now, does the stomach tattoo have the same?
I don't know. I've never really seen one on.
And why is it a tramp stamp? Like that's kind of fucked up. That got a bad name.
Yeah.
I just told Lisa, I was like, if I ever got a tramp stamp, it would just be a hand that says "place here."
Grab point. Yeah, if you have
it'll be like an outline of a hand, and then on the top it say "place here." Place hand here.
One on each hip. Handles.
Grab here.
So gross.
It is gross. No, but we went to work out at this place called Orange Theory. Blanca goes to that.
Yep, she does.
Alicia went yesterday, which was nice because she's been talking about wanting to get back into. She wants to exercise. She was doing like that shot, but she knows she doesn't need to be doing that all the time, so she wanted to kind of like.
Well, it's not a fix-all. It's not a forever solution.
Yeah, and she knows she wants to work out, but it was. I was really proud of her because she took that initiative to be like, you know what, fuck this. So she actually went and worked out with Blanca,
and that's what
she really liked it.
Yeah,
she loved the environment, and so she signed me up for it.
Right.
Because she asked if I wanted to work out when we were helping David.
Yeah.
And I asked Tom that, and he's like, "Nah, I'm good." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be down." And then when she came back yesterday after work, she was like, she had texted me a few times. She's like, "Hey, I'm signing you up." I'm like, "All right, whatever."
That's cool.
And she's like, when she got home, she was like, "You know, I think you'll really like it." And so we went this morning, and bruh. I tried to go a little too hard. I think in the beginning because I got you ever work out where you feel like I think I might puke.
Yeah, I hate that feeling.
That's what I try
to avoid.
Ugh. But the cool thing I really thought was it wasn't. I was going in with my head thinking, okay, it's gonna be fun, but I also had that thought where the guy was kind of bound, almost like it's not encouraging when I feel like they talk down on you.
Sure.
Are they like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Belittle you in a sense.
Yep. Some people get really motivated by that. I am not one of those
I'm not
people. I kind of go to the fuck you, I'm done.
What'd you fucking just say? I'll hit you in the head with this fucking weight. How about that?
No,
Motivate these.
This guy was kidding around, but I went to one. And he's like, "Go on, Tom. The girls are passing you," like being funny. And I was like, "You know what? I already hate this, so I'm done." I went and I sat down. He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yep. I'll just be here." And
Yeah, this one was cool because it wasn't like that. It was just like,
yeah,
all right, guys, and in 30 seconds we're gonna switch over to this, or we're gonna do this, and he'll show you how to do the workouts. And then on the TVs, it shows what the workouts are. So even if you forget what it was
you
on
can
the
see
TV,
it.
yeah, there's like a person like, oh, we're gonna throw the weights up like this.
Yeah.
But the cool thing he did at the end, like, so when we were all done and stuff, we're all stretching. He was just talking. He was like, he was talking about he didn't want to go work out today. He didn't want to. He went out, had maybe a couple drinks. He wasn't feeling the greatest. He's like, but I was gonna do this many miles on the treadmill. I only did this many. I didn't do it all, but I did it. He's
right.
like, but he's like, if you go into things with this negative mindset, you're gonna have like a negative
outcome.
You're gonna have a negative outcome to how this workout is. Oh, I got to work out, and just thinking negatively. He goes, you don't, So when you come, just don't have those negative thoughts because you're gonna have a negative experience.
Right.
And we don't want that, we don't want to have it. And it was very encouraging. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, that's kind of that. When I was like, I'm like doing downward dog. I'm like,
it was odd because he was standing behind you with his hands on your.
He had his hand on my back.
He used your place marks.
He's like, okay, and he started talking real slow and quiet. Mm-hmm. And he whispered deep in my ear.
I felt like I was a child getting a shot. It was.
Whoa!
Yeah, I know. Like
it was actually
I need to get back into my workouts a little more, but I haven't quit like I used to. I used to I would just be done and like that was it. I would not work out at all ever, and I haven't done that. But I'm not as consistent as I was.
Yeah.
But that was the biggest thing mentally for me was like you get into the routine of it, the habit of it, and you just do it.
Yeah.
You make sure you at least do something every day where it's just a part of what you expect. Like it's just the norm. And that's the hardest part is when you don't exercise at all, is getting into that routine, that habit.
Well, like for me, I hadn't exercised. It's been a while. Like the last time I went running, I can't even remember. I don't know if it was before or after the Badger Mountain Challenge, which was in, no, I think maybe April, May is probably the last time I can remember running with Nick and stuff. And
yeah, I went with you guys that one time and that was the last time I ran, I think.
Yeah. So like getting into that routine, like you said, it's just like getting into that habit. And the guy was saying, he's like, yeah, when you start, he goes, 3-4 times a week is, he goes 4 is a little much, but 3's good, because if you do too much, he's like, that's like you're gonna just burn yourself out.
Yeah,
you don't want to do that.
Well, and you have to let your body recover.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
that's
this workout cool because they'll go like there's these zones that you have to meet, or that they would like you in.
Yeah,
that you don't have to meet them, but like this is the goal is to get to these zones because then you get into this. They call it the afterburn, and you start burning calories. He says up to about, depending on where you're at, you can burn for 36 hours.
That's cool.
So you'd be done working. Like for right now, I'm burning calories, man. So I'm gonna drink all this coffee and take a shit. And coffee don't do that, but
coffee can do it to me. It's a nice.
Nice. I think we've talked about that before. But I don't think that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, it's got to be a genetic thing. I don't know.
No, because I think a lot of people get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
maybe you have a gene variation. It doesn't.
Do you get the runs after you drink coffee? Maybe not the runs. My dad's a coffee drinker.
Yeah, coffee's amazing. And I've always made myself stick with just black coffee. It's one healthy choice I make in life. But
yeah, I add a little creamer.
Pretty healthy. I was thinking back because I haven't done as well as I used to do. But my eating habits have still stayed way better. I rarely eat chips. I rarely eat things that are really bad. I still eat more whole foods. So I'm even though I'm not perfect, I've changed.
Yeah, I think I've changed a little bit. I'll still snack on chips here and there. I don't snack like I
just used to always snack on crap. You know,
Well,
like
yeah.
I just constantly be eating garbage.
Pizza's still my downfall. I love
Pizza's
fucking
amazing,
pizza.
and I'll eat pizza. Like I was really good at like avoiding things and like only eating a little bit. Like, look, I'll still mow through a pizza now, but I just not all the time. You know.
So we went to the river yesterday. We took the kids to the river for a little bit. Mind you, the fucking river was crazy because right now boat race weekend's going on. But
Which park? Did
we
you
went
go
to the Richland, which also crazy because they were doing art in the park.
Yeah, right.
So it was
Kind of a
packed.
bad day to go.
It was packed, and so, and I've talked about this before. I was like I don't know what it was, and as I'm driving, I'm thinking in my head, why do I feel this way?
Yeah.
Like I was irritated. It wasn't because we were going to the park. It wasn't because of any of that. Like I was cool with. I was just like, I could feel myself. I was on that verge where I was just something would set me off. I could feel myself like.
Yeah.
Blowing up, and I'd be like, fucking piece of shit. Mother, you just cut me off. You know,
Yeah,
like.
right. Exactly.
But
I know. Sometimes
And so
those
I was
pop
like,
up
as
for no
we're
reason.
driving to the park, I could feel it inside, and I'm like driving, and I'm like, I'm just breathing. Like every now and then you'd hear this deep breath come out of me because I'm like, and then in my head, I'm like, why am I feeling this way? And I still don't know why I felt that way.
Sometimes there's really not a reason. I've woken up that way where you just have a day where you're like, it's just pissy.
Yeah,
Like,
I just
for
felt
no reason.
annoyed.
I don't know.
And I don't know what it was. Like the day was
I
fine.
wonder if
Like,
there's like a dream that we don't remember that triggered us.
I don't know. Like
You know, like some kind of experience in our brain.
I don't know, because I felt like I woke up in the morning just fine, and then
Yeah.
you know we're getting ready doing things, and then that just I don't know if it's the stress of having to go here, or I don't know what it was, but I was just like,
Did you know the park was going to be a nightmare?
yeah, I already was known then the park's
That
gonna
would
be
be enough
crazy.
to trigger me.
I already knew the park was probably gonna be wild, and like I was prepped mentally, like okay, I already know it's gonna be like it's boat race weekend. It's you know it's crazy over here.
Right.
It's a big thing here in the Tri-Cities.
Yeah, waterfallies.
Yeah, they love their shit here. That's about it's outdoorsy.
One of the only famous things that we have.
Yeah, seriously. Although they did not do the air show, and that
I
seems
don't
like,
know if it's because of all the smoke. Like if it wasn't safe, they figured that they could.
I don't know.
Be seen
Well, they
anyway,
didn't even
or-
do practice.
No, nothing all week.
Losers.
Maybe
I want to
they-
see them shoot missiles in the river and shit.
I know. Remember when they used to do dog fights? No,
Fake dog fights and shit.
shoot at the ground.
But no, I was just like super irritated anyway. Like I'm like, okay, I'm trying to like, I'm not showing the kids. I'm not showing Alicia. I'm like kind of just keeping it to myself because I know. Yeah, I know with the wives sometimes. I know they're cool with us, but sometimes they're like, they don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to, I don't want to bitch all the time.
Right.
So I was just in my head just thinking. And then what kind of like broke me from that is as we're getting, because all of a sudden now we got to find parking.
Yeah.
And I despise parking. Like I hate trying to find parking. I hate it. I hate it where no matter where I go, I hate it. Right. And as we're driving, this car leaves and it kind of opens up a spot where I can parallel park. And it was perfect because it was right. I mean, it was close. I didn't have to park
A mile
over
away.
here and then get our paddle boards and
Yeah,
take
the
them over there.
way that this park is designed, if you can't park close, I mean, you're gonna walk. You're gonna walk.
Yeah, this one
away.
was right there off the road. I wasn't in the main parking lot, but like as you drive down,
Yeah.
there's side parking.
Uh-huh.
And so I got to park close to the park right there.
Kind of by where that little roundabout thing is.
I don't know, Howard Amon?
Yeah.
Because I was at Howard Amon.
Yeah.
And so when you turn in there, no, I didn't park down there where the roundabout is. You take a
Where's
left.
that road though?
And then the road got like if you're going to go down towards Leslie Grove.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So as you go down this little two lane windy road, there's like side parking.
Yeah.
And right there it opens up and I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So I was like,
Nice.
hell yeah. Parked in there perfectly.
So you got to just take it out through the grass right down
right
to the
there.
water. That's
Super
cool.
close. It was like a 2-second walk.
Yeah.
Like as soon as that happened, it was like, okay. I felt great.
Yeah, nice.
And I think me not blowing up, putting that negative energy out in the world,
Yeah.
kind of like, I think that kind of maybe helped. I feel like, anyway.
Yeah.
I like to think that, me not being negative, I'll fucking help that shit.
Not giving into the negativity. Yeah.
because that can happen.
It's easy. Especially, that pissy feeling. Yeah, I get that way when I clean it a lot or something. But no, luckily, I've kept the house clean this summer. It's been nice.
Oh yeah, we do pretty good at keeping it upstairs.
For a long time, I felt
clean.
like the only one trying to do that. But no, Blanca's been a huge help. Like she would be more apt to like lay things around than I would, and that gets hard because you end up with stuff all over the place. So you got to clean up the stuff before you can actually clean it. She's been really great with that this summer, so it's helped a lot.
Yeah, like Alicia will still like leave clothes in the rooms. It's, you know, standard, nothing crazy. Like I cleaned up the room the other day. This sounds boring, but I was like folding the clothes, blah blah blah, whatever. I cleaned the room. I felt very accomplished.
Yeah.
Cleaned the bedroom. I vacuumed it, got it nice, and made a good dinner that night.
Nice.
Mashed potatoes. My dad brought us a bunch of corn they bought off the side of the road from one of those vendors.
Yeah.
So I made the corn, mashed potatoes. I had Elena like cut the potatoes. I had her like peel them.
Nice.
So I had her shuck the corn. Mm-hmm. So she helped me with all that, and
Very
then
cool.
Made some chicken.
Cool.
It was good.
Nice.
Yeah. Question of the week.
Let's get to it.
I have 2 questions, but I don't know which one I want to do here.
All right.
But I'll just say, hey, can you survive without a dark sense of humor? Do you need one? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So backstory to this, we were helping a buddy put up a roof of a gazebo.
Yeah.
And we were listening to some very funny music.
It was hilarious.
Very inappropriate, but very, very funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it really depends on who you are. I mean, you know, like I work with children.
Yeah.
And so even though it seems counter to someone that works with children, I mean, when you deal with kids all the time, you kind of have to have another side that sees the humor in things. My brother's a police officer. They wouldn't survive without a dark sense of humor.
I think you need one.
There is a survival mechanism where you make things, you know, funny and twisted things. You find the humor in anything because otherwise, yeah, it can just get so...
Do you think
dark.
In today's world, like with the younger generation, they've lost that?
I don't know.
Some of them, because you know, so many people feel like offended.
I would like to see a group of boys just by themselves. My son and Logan, especially. I haven't heard it as much from JJ yet, but nut jokes, nut sack, all the time. I don't think everyone's changed.
I don't know if JJ's into the nutsack jokes.
Yeah, Elliot.
But then
but I think that's because of Logan. I think Logan.
JJ did. There was some annoying kid when we were at the park yesterday, right? And then I'm just like, you know, I'm trying to tell the kids, like, he's just probably, you know, trying to make friends. He's, you know, kid, whatever, blah blah blah. And then JJ leans over to his cousin Yasmin, and he's like, I'm like, what are you saying? You know, don't whisper. You know, like basically, what'd you say? He's like, oh, I just said he probably don't even have no friends. And I start laughing. I'm like, he was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, don't be sorry. You don't got nothing to be sorry for. I was like, you don't have to like be quiet about it.
Did the kid have poor behavior?
The kid was annoying.
Yeah.
I get where they were coming from. Why? Because Yasmin's like, God, this kid's
Was he
annoying.
like loud and rambunctious?
No, he was just a talker, and he was like, I'm gonna put you in, ooh, being stupid. He was just he was a kid. He was just an annoying kid. He wasn't sure. So
that's why I don't have any friends.
We're jumping
Kids have to learn.
we're jumping off the dock, and then I don't think it's his brothers and them, because when we're about to jump off the dock, bro, so many fish, by the way.
Really?
We're talking like, I don't know, 12 inches. 12 inches. Yeah, they were like big fish, dude. They were like good. Anyway, these kids come up, and we had been jumping off the dock. This kid's, I don't know if it's his brothers or something, but I said hey to the kid. I wasn't being rude. I was like, oh yeah, no, you look at all these fish, blah blah blah. I don't know if his brother felt like I was there to, be a
creeper
asshole. Yeah, but I got such a bad vibe off those kids because they went to go fish there. They just kind of walk through. They don't even say nothing. They don't say excuse me. They just walk to where we were gonna jump in. Yeah. And then they, put their fishing poles out, and it fucking pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing I hate when people are rude.
Yeah. Or
say something.
Yeah.
Fucking say excuse me. Hey, you mind if we fish?
Right.
Hey, we're gonna do this. Don't just fucking walk through. Like I wanted to
They're
I
just
wanted
pissed that you were there because they were playing.
Yeah, he was
on
acting like he was hard. I would have fucking railed this kid.
Yeah.
Like, he was probably like 20 something.
This is the problem though. Is
It was so rude. I had to like walk. I told JJ and Yasmin, come on guys, let's go.
right.
And then because it was just super rude, and I just felt myself like I'm gonna end up
Drown this kid.
yeah, I'm gonna fucking choke you out with your string here because that was rude.
Piano wire him with this fishing pole.
It's just I don't know. There's a level of respect that people don't have these days, and
But like you said,
it drives
especially
me.
kids that act like they're hard or tough.
Yeah, he has his hat on with his shirt off. Like, get your little bird ass chest out of my face before I fucking drowned you right now, kid.
Yeah, that entitled attitude.
Yeah, I say kid, but he's like I said, he's in his 20s. My oldest kid's in his 20s, so
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Don't be a douchebag.
I just walked away. I didn't say nothing. I didn't, because I know if I would have said something, that could have started.
Yeah, you did the right thing. Because what are
just
you
like-
gonna do? Fight some 20-year-old kid?
Yeah. Oh, God, it would have been nice.
Yeah.
But I'm scared to fight. Like I said, I'm scared to fight because I'm afraid of me.
Yeah,
I'm not
I got
afraid of getting beat up or something. I'm afraid what I would do because I feel like I'm that I'll see red type person.
Right. You don't know how far you.
Do you know what I do when I fuck up in a video game? Bruh.
You don't want to see.
You don't want to see
the
this.
carnage.
I will throw you like a controller.
Yeah, I will break
By your legs.
like a monitor. I will snap you in half.
Yeah. Do you see the scar? Monitor.
You ever seen Bone Tomahawk, buddy?
Oh, God.
I'll chop your nutsack and
That-
rip
I
your
told
body
you.
in two.
If you haven't seen Bone
My
Tomahawk,
God, you guys watch Bone Tomahawk.
it's a good movie.
That was insane. That was You told me. Wait, did you see the guy get ripped in half? I was like, no.
It's a gruesome scene.
And holy shit, I saw it, and it was not the torn in half I was expecting.
No, it was like they really got someone and tore him in half. I felt like it was real.
Not just tore him.
They chopped him down.
They chopped him from the nuts down to his abdomen, into his
Like an
abdomen.
animal.
And then two guys just tore him in two. I was like, oh my God.
And then it's got.
That was
Right? Isn't that what
insane.
happens?
And they're like yelling, we're gonna kill him. Don't worry, we're gonna get him. I would be like, I don't fucking care now. I am getting ripped in two. The pain of just getting chopped like that.
It was a crazy movie.
Oh,
It was crazy. It's a really good movie though.
it was good.
Aside from that part, like the movie itself is actually pretty good. If you're into like, I don't know if it's a horror.
It's a Western. They had
like a
it
Western
categorized as horror.
So one of my texts that's super into horror movies,
Yeah.
that was one of the movies he had mentioned, and I take when he mentions those kind of movies, I take his opinion pretty well
It was
because
like
he's pretty good about
realistic
it.
horror in the
Yeah.
sense of like this was like what are those native tribes that they talk about in the Southwest like centuries ago?
I don't
That
know.
lived in like the caves. and
The cave.
walls.
I just think of the
Can't think
like in Australia, that kind of
right.
people.
Indigenous,
Yeah,
you know, but so it wasn't the most like I guess respectful view of a native tribe, but they were like very cannibalistic and just I mean ruthless to outsiders.
yeah, oh yeah, dude. There's still like tribes like that in like some islands or somewhere. Well, no, they actually had this like journalists go to this
Yeah, in like
island,
the 60s, right?
and they said something to him, and they were like basically saying, "We will eat you."
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I was watching a show about Neanderthals, and they would eat. Talk about dark humor. They would eat their loved ones for a sense. Apparently, in like early human history, it was normal to consume loved ones to kind of honor them and keep them with you. And like, so Jeffrey Dahmer was right.
He was loving people.
So gross.
So
Elliot
when I die, I
apparently-
want my kids to eat me
Yeah.
to honor me.
Yeah, eat me.
You get my left arm, you get my right arm.
Your mom gets the, I don't want you eating the
You
sausage.
don't eat the
but-
sausage goes to your mother.
Jesus.
disgusting.
No, thank you. Can you?
And on that note, I'm just kidding.
God. Yeah, Elliot apparently we got to my parents' house. He was going to spend the night the other day, and he goes, all of a sudden decided that was the right moment to bring up something really important. He's like, I saw something on YouTube, and like, okay, I'm used to your little cartoon videos. Like, what did you see on YouTube? He's like, well, and he's very hesitant to talk. Blanca was terrified it was like pornography or something.
That's what I was just thinking. Boobs.
So he's like, yeah, it was. And I go, buddy, you need to tell me what it is. Like, just
Kids
get
are
it
so
out
funny.
because you're not speaking, but you're obviously upset, and we're about to walk into your grandparents' house. So what was it? He goes, Jeffrey Dahmer. And Blanca doesn't know anything about him really, but I do. And I'm like the most awful
Human in
worst,
history.
The worst of the, like, not only did he kill people, but he ate them. Like, you saw, okay. So he and I are going to have a conversation to say, what exactly did you see?
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. What was it though? I wonder if it was just about the movie or the show.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like an advertisement for the show. I don't know if it was like 10 facts you didn't know about Jeffrey Dahmer. You know, like, I don't know.
He loved kids.
And yeah, yeah. I don't know what it was that he would have seen. He obviously knew the name, and I watch all that kind of crap, but I don't. I always pause things if he's in the vicinity. I know. Like him to see that.
Like JJ paused. I walked in his room the other day and he paused it. He just happened to have the computer paused. And then on the screen is like a bottle of fucking Crown Royal. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? What are you watching? He's like,
a Crown.
He's like,
Crown Royal
nothing.
review.
It's just, like, I'm like, buddy, I'm just kidding. I know you're not watching, because JJ's pretty good about, like,
He's a good kid, yeah.
Obviously there's stuff that probably gets thrown there that I don't see, but
right.
Like,
YouTube's so tough because kids, it's so normal for them to watch it now. And
well, things pop up. Like, we just had something pop up on ours, and we don't even know how, but it's 10 signs of a female covert narcissist. Sounds like a fucking special ops.
Aren't all narcissists kind of covert about it at first and then become...
I don't know. That's what a narcissist would say.
Well, a narcissist doesn't know they're a narcissist.
That's true. I don't know. She says if she's super sexual, she's probably a narcissist.
You got to watch out.
Or you got a 12-incher.
If you got a hooker, she's a narcissist.
All about you. But no.
Golly. Yeah.
All right.
I think I'm good.
I got to go to the restroom.
Okay. Well, on that note,
I'm going to pee my pants. This is what I'm trying to get at.
Enjoy the last few days of July, folks. Hopefully you have a wonderful
Yeah, I got to do my mileage for June still.
There you go.
That's how quick this...
coming in. I know. It's insane.
I still got to... Yeah, I need...
Time needs to slow down, but, summer's wonderful.
Yeah.
So good.
Walmart's letting you know that kids need to get go back to schools.
Oh, they were doing that in June. Yeah.
They were doing that at the end of the school year. As soon as the 4th of July was
over, they're like, boom, let's get the school stuff out.
As soon as the kids got out of school, back to school.
Yeah. I'm proud of myself, though. I got everything ready for, we don't have everything done, but I bought everything I needed and I got everything ready to go for the school year. It's going to be a...
Yeah. Alicia is very... She has bought, always has bought extra paper, pencils. So even if we forget, we already have supply.
Yeah,
she's a teacher, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
You got a plan, got to be ready.
All right, man.
All right, folks.
Take care.
Tally ho. Have a great day.
Man, she's missing her teeth.